Hey, range safety.
Range safety is still green.
Roger.
2, 1, mark.
10, 9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Space Shuttle Endeavour on a 21st century mission, placing Earth back on the map.
The retired Space Shuttle Endeavour being towed to its final resting place at a museum. It is drawing thousands of people into the streets.
With a 78-foot wingspan, hundreds of trees had to be cut so it could clear the roads. Power lines were raised to make room for its tail.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to 909 Adventures. Forgot my glasses today. Wouldn't you know it? But guys, today we're at the California Science Center, and there's a lot of cool stuff here. I'm looking at something really cool right now. It's right there. Check it out, guys. How cool is that? Got a couple of old jets hanging from the ceiling there. It's pretty cool, I think. So I hope you guys like this kind of stuff, because you guys are going to be seeing more stuff like this more often, as I'm going to start a museum series here on 909 Adventures. And by the way, guys, the Space Shuttle Endeavour is here at the California Science Center, so watch the end of the video to see that. There's a lot of space stuff here, space related stuff here, and yeah, this is pretty impressive. Check this out, guys. Look at that. I'm not sure exactly what that is just yet, but we'll find out here momentarily. Right here, looks like we have a Mercury capsule. Look at that. Another Mercury. And it looks like we got an Apollo over there. Look at this. How cool is that, guys? This is Mercury Atlas V Primate coach. Okay, so this is the little capsule that the chimp was in. I forget his name at the moment. That's cool. Look at that. Little levers he'd be pulling. You guys see that right there in the center of the screen? Let's see. There's gonna be a lot of opportunities to pause and read in this video, so here's your first opportunity. Look at that. I guess this would have been like the heat shield, and splashdown, that would have been like the float, I'm assuming. Look, guys, we can get a nice little view in there. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Look at all that in there. Dang. I don't know. That'd be pretty claustrophobic. But look, you can see the, let me zoom back out a little bit, how the capsule for the monkey would have sat in there, or the chimp. That's crazy. Sorry, I'm trying to get as little glare as possible, but it's pretty hard to do. Wow. So cool. And I just noticed this. It looks like this is going to be a model of how they want the museum to look after everything's said and done. You guys will notice the space shuttle is in its launch position, surrounded by this protective barrier here. That is cool. I cannot wait to see it raised in its launch position. That would be so cool. And speaking of it being in its raised launch position, I felt it was kind of important to do this video now, because they're actually preparing to set it up, the space shuttle that is, into its launch position. So I wanted to show you guys as it is, when we can walk right under it. And well, you guys will see when we get down there. Let's check out this other Mercury capsule. Or excuse me, this is a Gemini capsule. Gemini 11 to be specific. Look at this. Look at all this stuff, guys. Let me widen this out again for you. Get more of a better perspective. Look at that. Look at this stuff. Again, guys, I'm sorry about the glare. I hope you guys are able to see into there. Let me do some more zooming in. You guys see that? Look at that. Wow. Very interesting, huh? That is so cool. And here's the heat shield. Look at that, guys. That's all that protected you between life and death. That is, that's crazy. And again, a little bit wider view for you guys. Check out that heat shield. Man, you guys, these guys would have had to have what they called back in the day balls of steel to get up here and do something like this. Oh, look at this. Here's something I've never noticed before. So they have these things called retro rockets. And right there, that's what held onto the retro rocket package. And they would jettison that right before re-entry. That's crazy. I've never seen that before. Alright guys, this one's gonna be my favorite one. My favorite capsule out of the three that are here. It's an Apollo capsule. Apollo-Soyuz. There you go. Look at that. That's so cool. Look at that. Look at that heat shield. It looks like they need to clean this glass. It's a little foggy, but still, at least we can still see it pretty good. This is another moment for you guys to pause and read. Yeah, look at that. So cool, huh? See if we can get another good shot in there. See if we can zoom in. And it's the Viking Lander. This model is a full-scale prototype of the twin Viking Landers that touched down on Mars in 1976. Viking 1 and 2 were the first successful landers on Mars. Their mission: take good pictures of the surface, analyze the soil, wind, and atmosphere, and search for signs of microscopic life. That's actually pretty massive. I mean, I don't know if the video here is doing this justice, but it's pretty big to send, you know, as far away as Mars is. But wow, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how big the current Mars rovers are, but this thing is probably about the size of a Volkswagen. No joke. And just some random satellites, missiles. Yeah, that's about it. More satellites. You guys can read on these. A little pause and read moment for you. There's a couple little satellites that were hiding in the last little pan around. I think I haven't got over to it yet, but I believe this one, I forget the name of it, but I believe the actual satellite is still, they launched this in the 70s and it's still going. It's like the farthest man-made object that's still working. It works. It's working even to this day. And another pause and read moment for you guys. Yeah, I believe this is exactly the one I was talking about. That's very cool. It was also the first, if you guys read that, it was also the first satellite to pass the asteroid belt. Okay, so remember this thing, the first thing we've seen? Alright, so I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I think it's Cassini. Cassini, the first spacecraft to orbit Saturn, studied it from 2004 to 2017. We have a full-scale engineered model on display here. NASA's largest planetary orb ever, Cassini, carried 18 instruments to study the planet, its rings, and its moons. Look at that. What is a meteorite? A meteorite is a space rock that lands on Earth's surface. About a ton of space rocks land on Earth each day, most of it unnoticed. Meteorite name reflect where they are found. Very cool. Meteor crater in Arizona shows what happened when a big iron meteor 50 meters across hit Earth 50,000 years ago. I know exactly where that meteor is, guys. It's funny, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me zoom up on it. There's a right there at the end of that road, there's a gift shop. I mean, how lucky is that gift shop? They barely missed getting hit by that meteor. I guess I started entering this thing in backwards, and this Ken Mattingly's spacesuit. I believe it's Mattingly. Yep, it's still. I was here a few years ago, and a lot of the stuff is still the same. It's moved around a little bit, but very cool stuff. Let's check this out. Look at that. An actual spacesuit up close and personal. Now, if you guys have ever seen Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks, he is Mattingly. This guy here, Mattingly, is the guy that got the measles, or supposedly got the measles during Apollo 13. And I believe this guy was credited for actually engineering the way for Apollo 13 to get back home safely. So it's kind of a good thing that supposedly he got the measles. I guess you could say it was meant to be. You can pause and read that. And then here's the other part of the spacesuit. That's the backpack, the life support system, oxygen, cooling, heat, and everything. And there are the space gloves.
This thing's still running, man. It gives good images. Yeah, this one, right? Yeah.
Manually. Oh, look at that. The actual glass helmet that they use during launch. Man. So cool. And here is the Project Mercury spacesuit. Look at that. I don't know, I kind of wish they kept this old aluminum foil, tin foil looking suits. They're kind of cool. You guys can pause and read. It says this suit was made by B.F. Goodrich Company around 1960. The first elevation and training for test elevation and training. Here are the gloves and helmet. That's cool. If you guys can see that, they zip close. That's crazy how it's discoloring, not holding up to the test of time. Wow. And here is a 1/5 scale of the Hubble Telescope. Love seeing this stuff. Okay, so this little guy is Spitzer. Spitzer's infrared sensors detect heat from objects that our eyes and optical telescopes cannot see. The sensors let us look right through dense clouds of gas and dust. Cool stuff, guys. Apparently we got a rocket scientist behind us who's explaining everything, even down to gamma rays. Alright, guys. Wow. Talk about perfect timing, huh? That looks pretty cool right there, to be honest. Alright guys, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. This is the start of the Space Shuttle Endeavour exhibit. And there's a really cool mock-up of mission control over here. A couple other things that belong to the Space Shuttle, but let's check it out. And look at, we can actually, these tires flew into space on Endeavour's final flight, STS-134. Notice the rubber worn from the landing at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Yeah, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see the actual texture there. You can actually touch it. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, it looks like they need to have these tires rotated, guys. And this one says on the nose. Like a cherry on an ice cream sundae, the nose cone is at the very top of the Space Shuttle assembly on the nose of the external tank. Its pointy shape helped the ET slip more easily through the atmosphere and its way towards orbit. And there it is. And of course, do not touch. I mean, we could touch the tires, but we can't touch the nose cone. Come on. Alright, and here's the the toilet, how they went to the restroom in space. Got a little video here explaining how everything works. And black. I don't know, guys, it looks pretty uncomfortable. This is munching in microgravity. I guess this would be their refrigerator, their whole little kitchen setup. It was everything. These are all things that have been in space. Pretty interesting, huh? I know it's a little dark in here. This is a really cool setup right here. It's mission control. Let's check it out. Obviously, this is a lot smaller than mission control. If you guys have ever seen pictures of mission control, there's rows and rows of these. It's probably like maybe 6 rows of desks and people, and you know, keeping a crew of 5 alive, among other things. Isn't that cool? They even have a a coffee cup right there, set up with somebody's coffee. You guys see that? And the other side. So I don't know, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of how this got here. It landed at LAX, and then it took I believe it was 12 miles, 11, 12 miles from LAX to here. And they took it all by streets. They took down trees, light poles, street lights, everything, just to get this here. And for every tree that they took down, they replanted 2.
When it made its triumphant entrance at the California Science Center today, it was more than 15 hours late. Even for a commute in Los Angeles, this was a whopper. It took the shuttle more than 60 hours to complete the 12-mile route from LAX to the museum. On Friday, it snuck a late-night look at a donut shop and turned the 405 freeway into a shuttle crossing.
I actually remember this day. Remember this day. It took them a few days to get it here, and I tried so hard to get here. I just could not get the time off of work to come and check this out. But man, that would have been cool to see. Oh, this is the space shuttle? There it is. Nah, just kidding. There it is. Look at that, guys. Every time I see this, I'm like in awe. Let's go stand under it. Dang. This is pretty awesome. Look, guys, I'm just like, within 3 feet of it, right under the heat shield. Sorry guys, I know I'm not talking, I'm just kind of taking it in. Because you know what, after a while guys, we're not going to be able to walk under this anymore. It's going to be cool, very cool, and it's, wow. That's massive. It is going to be very cool to see it in its, launch position, but man, I don't know if we'll ever be able to get up close and personal with it as we are right now. Not to deviate from the space shuttle, but here's one of the engines. It's pretty big. It's probably about the size of a like a Chevy Express van. Yeah, this thing is huge. And they had 3 of these things on the yeah, look at that. They have 3 of these things on there. So here's a couple of artist renderings on how it's gonna look. Oh, I guess we are gonna be able to walk under it. This is all gonna be indoor. I don't know exactly, because that other model we've seen showed that it was outside because this was all open, but from how they're showing it, it looks like it's all going to be inside. I mean, whatever it is, it's going to be cool. But it does look like you're going to be able to still get under it, walk under it, and it's still going to look pretty cool. If you see these are the 3 capsules they have out there that we checked out. It looks like they're planning to get a SpaceX capsule. Very cool stuff. And some merch. I'm good. So everything I just explained to you, this guy back over here, yeah, I think it's that guy. He was explaining to his family everything I just explained to you guys on video. He was right next to me as I was recording it, so I would like to think that I contributed to their day just a little bit. Just a little. And here we go. Under the space shuttle again. On the camera, it looked like I was going to bump my head. I'm still like a good foot away from it, though. Yes, the space shuttle. All right, guys, you know what? There is, this is awesome, but there is so many things on the wall starting way down there. It's like a timeline of the space shuttle's space, everything. I mean, it goes completely around the entire room. And we would need a video all by itself just to stop and check out each little poster. There's probably a good 30 posters in each little, you know, one to the other segment. But that's going to be a video for another day. I don't even know if I'm going to make that video. But how awesome is this? Alright, it says Space Hab. I guess this will be, I don't know what this is. There's not even a plaque or anything to say exactly what it is. A workshop? Oh, I guess there's a plaque. I missed it. So that's very nice of them to cover this with the random trees. If you guys want to pause and read. Hopefully that's clear enough for you guys. Very cool. That shows you where that would have been right there on the space shuttle. And here it reads the final mission for Endeavour, May 16th, 2011. Alright, so they have it closed off, guys, but they have the external tank right there, runs alongside the building. Last time I was here that was open, but again I said they're getting ready to move everything into its position, its launch position. So looks like we're not going to be able to access that today. But it's so cool, it's just right there. So close.
This is a moment in the history of Southern California people will never forget. They'll never forget where they were when they saw this. It will never happen again. It's never happened before. Rarely does science and technology intersect with culture and society, and that's what happened here today.
Bartender, Coors Light, please.